barely hanging on for a playoff spot. If they lose tonight, they're out. I believe that's correct. But they're rocking and rolling.
Push them out, man. Get rid of them. And then worry about all you can worry about is yourself, right? Isn't that the old saying? So you win tonight, play Anaheim Thursday, win that game, hope the Kings drop 2, and then you're in the playoffs. And that's they're going to play Colorado and get beat. Blah, blah. Oh, God, shut up. Just get in. That's all that matters, right?
That is all that matters. So if you don't agree with that, then I question you. But I disagree with you. I'll put it that way.
I like that's better.
Yeah, just like go ahead and get in and see what happens. Yep. If you lose in 4, you're losing 4. If you do like you did 9 years ago, and then we're gonna have party on Broadway.
Oh yes, it's all right there for us, man.
Yeah.
Ready
so
is the NBA season over with?
I think it ended yesterday. Oh. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have been so dialed into hockey.
Right. I don't blame you. There was something about tanking in the NBA and 187 something different lineups were happening towards the end because people were tanking and allegedly and all that stuff. I don't know. I just pay attention to Luke Cornett and the Spurs. That's it.
Yeah,
they seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the guy that you like to follow, and you should, because he has local the local ties.
And he's just a damn good dude, man. So yes.
What we'll see tonight is who knows who's going to be in goalie, because I saw that several have reported that Justus Sonninen was in the starter's crease. He was first off the ice. Typically, that is an indication that is the starting goaltender. So we'll see. We will see what ends up happening with the starting goaltender in the Preds. But
so if he's not, I don't know what that means. The goalie's crease.
They call it the. All right. So it's been a while since I've been to Morning Skate, but to the right, like if you're behind the bench. To the right is the starter's crease.
And that's where he was?
Yeah.
Is it ever any different?
Not usually. I mean, sometimes, yes. I should say not. I should say yes, it is, because, sometimes, Saros may just not skate, but it sounds like he did.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right, whoever's in goal tonight, just do just one heck of a job and get the job done tonight and then go on. So I don't know, but it would speak volumes if the backup's in. I don't know.
Well, he started Saturday. I mean, look, the hard thing is sometimes both goalies are playing well, but sometimes one's playing lights out, and that's how Onanen has been. And, the old saying is you ride the hot hand.
You do. That is the old saying.
If that's the case, then, I know it's going to create a bigger narrative, and you're going to have some people that are going to, go on and on about that and say, oh, this means something. And right now it's just a coach trying to get his team into the playoffs.
Yeah. And look, I don't care if you hurt
Onanen has played well. And Saros understands that.
Yeah. If you hurt feelings, these are professional athletes. I don't give a damn if your feeling gets hurt.
Yeah.
Whoever gives me the best chance to win, let's go. Anyway, go the game tonight, scream your head off, beat San Jose, and then let it all play itself out.
Yep, I agree with that. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. It is also a reaction Monday to a big weekend of sports presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Congratulations to Rory McIlroy on winning the Masters for the second year in a row. It was an interesting weekend for him as he had a few blunders and almost gave it up. Scotty Scheffler went on a historic run Saturday and Sunday to finish second, but was unable to catch Rory McIlroy, and he wins his second green jacket in a row. Always good when you can put the green jacket on yourself.
Yeah, right. So I watched the 15th to the end, and just watching Rory and the pressure and him versus the world, which will lead into our question here in just a little bit. But, I mean, amazing in that moment. What's at stake? You versus the world, you versus yourself.
Yeah.
And to get it done. And, of course, that walk-up 18 is so iconic. But It's really cool. Before the Masters started, they did that 40 years ago. Jack Nicklaus won the Masters at 46 years old, the oldest to do that. And they showed him, just you never know. He went to the day like 8th back, and then he ends up winning the Masters. Like, this is great drama. But Rory got it done, man. So he's the best in the world. I mean, twice at Masters. It's only been done, 4 times before?
Yeah.
Got it done. I just couldn't. I mean, I got so nervous. I think is it 18 when they're lined up on the tee box right next to you?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, I hit that, I'm taking out at least 6 people.
And Rory had a terrible tee shot on 18, but he was able to bogey the hole, so he won by a stroke. He knew he had one to work with, and just needed to score a 5 on that hole, and he'd win. Scotty Scheffler was sitting at the scores table, hoping that he would mess up on the 18th and force a playoff, but just unable to get any closer. And he had a putt that by half an inch, had it gone in, we would have had a playoff.
Oh, well, man.
So,
hey, got to make those.
You do. Yeah.
I was looking at YouTube. There's a video of a guy who's, I don't know if it's the Masters or not. It wasn't this year, but the gallery's like that, right? He hits a screamer down the side, hits this lady in the side of her knee, and she collapses. I was like, oh, that had to be the worst pain in the world. But I'm not standing there watching those guys golf that close. I'll go sit my big butt up by the green and watch him come up do that. But congrats to him, man.
What is our question of the day?
So watching Roar yesterday, I had a question in my mind thinking, what is the toughest individual sport there is?
Ooh.
What is the toughest individual sport there is? 615-737-1025. And I debated this in my head last night. The toughest individual sport. I'm going to say, and you're going to disagree with me, and I don't care. I'm going to say tennis.
I had a feeling that's where you're going to go.
Is the toughest individual sport for one reason. When Rory's making that walk up 18, who's next to him?
It's Caddy.
So I'm talking to you, right?
Yeah.
When a tennis player's on the court, your coach is in the stands.
Yeah.
When you go to sit down in between sets, there's no coach there.
Right. It's just you.
It's you, and you got to match the energy of the guy or girl across from you that you're playing against. I'm thinking, good Lord. I mean, then it changes. You've got to hit the perfect shot. You've got to, match that energy. I mean, Roy's got – it's tough. Don't tell you, golf is tough as well, but you got somebody next to you who's like, hey, do this, do that. You're talking things. You're on an island. You're on an absolute island out there. Now, you could add other things too. Like if you're a gymnast, I think that's really tough as well. Yeah. I mean, you got to execute everything perfectly, but for some reason tennis, because it's so high-paced and you've got to be good every single stroke that you go on. If not, you lose, man.
So when you say toughest, are you saying most difficult?
Altogether.
All that,
okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go off the beaten path here a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to say mixed martial arts, like UFC, because you're having to combine so many disciplines into one, whether it's boxing or jiu-jitsu, wrestling.
And then you get the hell beat out of you.
Right. So, I mean, like you're
right.
You're taking punches to the face, kicks to the ribs, they're trying to twist, anything and everything. And you have to do that for basically, 3, if it's a non-title fight, I think it's 3 5-minute rounds. If it's a title fight, it's 5 5-minute rounds. So, you got to do that and have the conditioning. So, I think there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. This is a good question. 615-737-1025, and our question of the day is presented by Aries Tactical. Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. First-time shooters shoot for free. Just tell them that I, Chase McCabe, sent you, and check them out at ariestactical.com. The toughest individual sport, that is our question of the day. We're live today at Tennessee Brew Works. Always enjoy our time here. Predators in action tonight against San Jose. But coming up next, there's a report about a prominent draft prospect that the Titans have been linked to, and some baggage has been found. Does it change your mind on things? We'll discuss that coming up next. It's Chase and Big Joe here on this Monday on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, here on this Monday, live at Tennessee Brew Works today. Predators in action later on tonight at Bridgestone Arena. We'll get to back to our question of the day in a minute. A lot of answers on that one. But, Joe, I wanted to get your thoughts and see if it really changes anything for you. A report came out yesterday that Ruben Bain was involved in a 2024 accident in which a person later died. Bain then at Miami, this was back March 17th, 2024. He was cited for careless driving for the accident that occurred that day on Interstate 95 northbound in Miami. He had 3 other people in the car, fellow Hurricanes football players, Wesley, I can't say his last name, and two of his teammates, and then a 22-year-old Georgia woman, Destiny Betts. Bain's vehicle rear-ended another car, veered into a concrete barrier, then ricocheted into another barrier before coming to a rest on the shoulder of the highway. Betts was taken to Ryder Trauma Center in Miami, according to the Reed Optional. The outlet reported that Betts was in a coma for nearly 3 months before she died from her injuries on June 13th, 2024. Bain was cited at the time of the incident, but charges were dropped prior to Betts' death. According to the Reed Optional, no field sobriety tests were given. According to the report, in a statement given to the Reed Optional, Betts' family called the crash, quote, a tragic accident, and they, quote, wish Mr. Bain the best as he continues his life and career, end quote. So that is the report that's out there.
Boy, that's a weird statement from the family when they just lost their daughter.
Yeah, right.
Look, he made a massive mistake, but charges were dropped prior to her passing. Still, it's terrible, but no field sobriety tests were given either.
Does it change the look of this if I read this and it says at about 4 p.m. local time and not 4 a.m. local time?
Not at all. He's was he 22 years old at the time?
Yeah.
No, it's tragic. It's awful and terrible, but I don't think, the charges were dropped. He got cited for careless driving.
Yeah. It does sound like, in an accident for sure.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he did everything he was supposed to do.
Right.
I am surprised that this hadn't come out. Yeah. They hadn't come out yet.
Now, if I'm reading he's had 3 DUIs and this has been you damn straight that's a problem. I just think he made a terrible, terrible mistake. And I would think he would, not haunt him, but still something that you just can't.
Well, and I'm wondering too, when you meet with NFL teams, they're going to ask you, is there anything we need to know about that could potentially come out about you? And my hope is he would have said, well, this happened in 2024, all that stuff.
It's just, look, I had a friend that got a DUI and it's terrible. I was very mad at him, but he's got one name that I call him, but his official name was on the lights, so nobody ever found out about it, right? So you wonder if Ruben Bain, if it's something, so nobody ever put 2 and 2 together. Now they've put this together, but I would certainly ask him about it and say, hey, what happened? And then tell him. And again, there's not a pattern here of him doing anything wrong, just a tragic mistake that happened, and hopefully it never happens again.
Well, I think the only thing that could hurt him when it comes to draft stock is did he not tell NFL teams about it? If when he was meeting with them at the combine and the top 30 visits and pro days and all of that, and they asked and I know they asked this question. I worked with the general manager. They're going to ask you, is there anything that's going to make you or me look stupid? That's how Floyd used to put it. Like, is there anything that's going to that we need to know about?
Well, who knows? Maybe he did say something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
If he has divulged this to everybody that needs to know about it, which is not us, then I think he's good. If he didn't, then they're going to be like, well, why didn't you tell him? Why didn't you?
I agree. That's a great question to ask him to see, hey, man, why didn't you tell us this?
Yeah.
And then if you say, well, I don't think it was important. A lady died in this.
It's
pretty
kind of
important. Yeah, that you did this. But again, not to belabor the point, there's not a pattern of him doing this. There's patterns of other guys that have been drafted throughout time who've got all kind of charges against him. But I would, if you're another prospect out there, they're going to find out eventually. So just say, look, here's what's out there. And then I've always been one. I never know why guys and PR people don't do this. Get out ahead of the story.
Right.
Own the story ahead of time instead of having somebody come at you with all these questions. So it sounds like he didn't do that. And maybe thought it would go away. Again, there's a lot of he said, she said, and they said, and we said on this, but I got no problem with this.
Well,
and he's honest.
Yeah, right. That's kind of my thing. It's a tragic thing, but it sounds like it's. I don't want to say it's not a big deal if somebody died. It is a big deal,
right?
But I think it shouldn't affect his draft stock.
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Does it bother you? 615-737-1025. You can also weigh in on the YouTube chat at 1025 The Game. Subscribe to that channel as well. Our question of the day, in your mind, the toughest individual sport that there is. We're talking about golf. Let's see. Here's what we got. 7636 says boxing.
Boxing's a good one.
Well, that's why I said UFC because it combines like everything. 2104, the balance beam. That thing is like 6 inches wide. Pause. Had to. 0956, long distance competitive running is brutal no matter what level you're racing.
Okay. These are all good.
Jeff says, I agree with Joe about tennis except for one other sport, college and Olympic wrestling.
Yes, but I mean, isn't your coach right there with you? And you get the thing with tennis is you're alone, and you're alone for hours, and then there's no scouting report. There's no halftime. There's no coach comes down and sits with you.
Yeah,
you're just alone out there. I guess these are all difficult. Don't get me wrong; these are all extremely. I couldn't do any of them, but wrestling, you do get a break in your coach to talk to you about this and that. So, but it is still very difficult.
8515, another vote for competitive gymnastics, often 4 events you have to excel at, elite athletes. 6181, UFC boxing easily is the hardest. 4312, competitive eating. No way I can down that much food. Let
me ask you this. What's tougher? And Dr. Crane, you can weigh in on this. What's tougher, you versus an opponent or you versus you?
Do what?
Hello? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I thought Chase was going to answer that.
Go ahead. Throw it out there.
You versus you, easily.
Why?
Everybody has that mental headspace of like, I need to do this, I need to do that. They become so overwhelmed. Well, then it's a battle against yourself. It's easy to take down somebody else because you're solely driven to take down that person. Whereas you're doing something yourself. If you take down yourself, you lose. You don't need to take yourself down. You need to help build yourself to do something better.
Whew, that's a lot, but you're right. You're right on that. I think it's 50-50 a little bit, man, because like all that we're talking about with the tennis and the UFC, and you have to not only defeat yourself, but you got to defeat an opponent, and it's so difficult. I'm not, what Roy did yesterday was amazing, and you are against the world, but you also get time to think, and you got your caddy with you, and I think part of this is having somebody in your ear to doing that. The UFC, you get the break, you get the guys in the corner could tell you a few things. Hey, do this, do that, watch out for that. But for tennis, man, you're just like, and you got to be on. If not, it's over.
8395, the toughest individual sport is gladiator fighting. You lose in that, and holy hell, that's bad.
True. Saw Russell Crowe not attain that.
Devin and Dixon said motorsports. You're going to get a lot of arguments on that, but I mean, I know what these guys go through inside a race car.
Yeah, I mean
they definitely deserve a lot more credit than they get. I'm not going to say it's the toughest, but they definitely deserve more credit than they get.
Well, hell, we did 160 that day at the track. We did 3 laps at 160, and I was like, "Get me out of this car." I couldn't imagine doing that for 280 laps or whatever it is. No, I mean that's very difficult. But then again, I mean, you've got a spotter, you got somebody helping you out. I mean, it's still tough. It's very difficult. I mean, all these are all very difficult.
Yeah.
But for me,
triathlon is getting getting one. Bowling.
Bowling's another one,
Bowling's not easy.
right? I mean, that
Yeah.
is you versus. Well, I mean, you're
Here-
bowling with somebody, but still.
Here's the thing. Any individual sport that you decide to do can be difficult. I mean, it just depends on how competitive you're going to get.
True.
If you're going out bowling with you and your buddies, if it's the three of us, we're not getting that. I mean, we're going to be competitive with each other, but like we're all going to suck.
Right.
But if you're the bowler Pete Weber, not the announcer Pete Weber, and you're winning millions of dollars in championships, then yeah, it's pretty
No,
damn competitive.
Absolutely, it is, and that's the whole point. There's not a wrong answer. It's just what you think would be the toughest out there, and mine is just on tennis. It's just I just would find that you're alone, and that the balance beam's a good one. I mean, and you got a short period of time to get that done and not mess up. I mean, you think about all the gymnasts, like ice skating. We talked to Scott Hamilton about that. You train for years. You do a triple jump. You don't come down and you're done.
Yeah.
You come in ninth because you didn't land a triple jump that 99.9999% of people couldn't do anyway.
Right. 615-737-1025. That is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Lots of good answers coming in on this. So keep them coming. Tee it up with us at the 5th annual 615 Open, May 28th at Hermitage Golf Course. We're once again supporting Folds of Honor to help them fund life-changing scholarships for families of America's fallen heroes. Register now to play or to sponsor at 615open.com. Chasing Big Joe live today at Tennessee Brew Works, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel on 102.5 The Game.
Yeah. Like the wind. All right, welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe show right here on 102.5 The Game.
Solving problems.
Live at Tennessee Brew Works. Nice crowd here. We got a puppy dog. It's already here today. Hey!
We love puppies.
Look at that over there, right? Oh, look how cute it is, too. All right. Welcome back. Tennessee Brew Works. We love being here as we get you going off on this Monday. Look, the NBA, I'm looking at the NBA. They've made now the playoffs. If you told me who's all making the teams to play, I couldn't tell you, man. The Memphis Grizzlies don't make it again. They finished 39 games out. Not bad.
They'll do better once they move to Nashville. Sorry.
Utah, Sacramento. This is ridiculous. Almost every team makes a play. Only 10 teams don't get in.
Okay.
I'm reading this? This is stupid.
Can I just be real with you?
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Me neither.
Okay, so can I read this text?
Please.
I'm sorry, NBA.
I'm just looking. Everybody's like, Grizzlies, Memphis, NBA. Nobody cares. All right,
Lenny says bowling is a game, not a sport. It's if it has a game, it's a sport.
I mean, they pay people hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to bowl,
It's
so it
a
is sport.
Yeah, like
tell bowlers in the league
I
it's
get
not.
so tired, Lenny, and I appreciate you. Thank you for weighing in. I get so tired of people like that, though, that are like, you can't call it a sport. Like, racing's not a sport. Well, motor sports tells me that it is.
Yeah.
You know, pro wrestling, while it's, scripted, is still an athletic competition, a sport. I mean, you're doing athletic things.
True.
So to say bowling is not a sport, I disagree.
Well, if they're paying you money to do that, that is a sport.
Yeah, I agree.
There are professional bowlers.
You have to have some form of athleticism to do it right.
Yeah, right?
Because I can tell you right now, I've seen these guys, do the thing where they spin their hand and the ball spins and goes right down the middle. When I've tried to do that, I've snapped my wrist.
I thought you snapped your wrist doing something else, man.
Yeah,
whoa. Yard work.
Yeah, yard work. Yeah.
Right. It gets you every time doing that. No, I get it. I mean, there are people that don't think this or that, but it is a absolute because they pay you money to do this.
Mike on Kentucky Lake says tournament bass fishing. Nevada Josh, bare knuckle fighting.
Tournament bass fishing. Okay, let me look at this one. Tournament bass.
There's probably a skill to it, though. I mean, I don't think you're just going out in a John boat and going, well, Roy, what you think?
Launch it over there.
I mean, those guys are serious. I mean, again, there's not a wrong answer, and you can make this kind of anything.
God, the difficulty, though, of fishing compared to wrestling or UFC, I guess for some it would be that way, but you're fishing. Again, they pay people a lot of money to do that. So, yeah, it qualifies. Absolutely does. Now, the degree of difficulty, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I can't fish. I'm terrible.
I mean, I can fish, but I'm not great at it.
I'm afraid of hooking my thumb in it and getting a tetanus shot and going to the doctor. I'm not doing that.
That's what she said.
Did she?
Oh my gosh, that's a lot, man. To see that and do that. I'm also curious, how much did Rory win yesterday for that?
4.5 million.
4.5 million.
Some of that goes to his caddy, and I'd
10%, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
4 point. Okay.
Our esteemed colleague Jeff Cole wants to fight me. I can already tell. Wrestling is theater with a predetermined outcome, not a sport. Here's my argument when people say that. I'm not arguing the predetermined outcome, the scripted part. That's what it is. I'm a huge fan of it. It's a male soap opera, is the way to put it.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
You and I cannot get in a wrestling ring and do the stuff they do. There is training that goes into that. There's weight training. They're in the gym every day. They're in a training facility for years training to do this stuff. So how is that not a sport?
That it is, but this does not qualify for what we're talking about.
No,
It's
I'm
not even in the same arena.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm just saying, to say it's not, and I get there's gray area because
Well, how gray? Charcoal?
yes, well, no, more of a lighter. So that's my thing.
No,
You're infatuated by the puppy.
Oh my God! Look how he's about to fall asleep too. Looks like me. No, I mean I get it, but this doesn't. It's not in the world of difficult, tough,
right
individual sport.
I mean, look,
not.
but there,
Not.
I would put pro wrestling in the same category of the choreography that you have to do, like gymnastics, like a balance beam or something like that.
Stop! It's nowhere near the same. It's nowhere near the same.
So you think you could do a Hurricane Rana and be fine?
No, but I'm not telling you. It's not. The question is, what's the toughest individual sport? The most demanding, toughest individual sport? Jeff is right. That is predetermined entertainment. I get that. You still got to be physically strong, and I understand all that. But at the end of the day, man, it doesn't compare to gymnastics, to tennis, to UFC. I mean, you are fighting for your life. I mean, you only get paid if you succeed. That's it. You only pay if you succeed. Tennis player, if you come in last, you get no money. Golf, if you get cut at the Masters, you get no money. I mean, sure, you get sponsors, this and that. I get all that, but you haven't earned anything. So that's my thing. Is you've earned it. Roy McIlroy earned that yesterday.
Sure.
Roger Federer, all those tennis players earn all that stuff.
Are you Richard Nixon?
If you get beat in the first round, you get nothing. Good day, sir.
4047. You guys need to come fish with me. You'll enjoy it and it's work.
How does it work? Please text back, call us. How does that work?
Okay.
I'd like to know. I mean, I am ignorant. I haven't fished in decades.
There
right?
was a hang on. I'm trying to find this one. Oh, Dustin in Hopkinsville. What depth are the fish at? You take off from your honey hole to go to your backup hole in the tournament just to find a competition already there wearing them out.
Your honey hole. Oh my God.
I'm just reading.
Right. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if I'm on a boat, again, fishermen, y'all, please call and let us know. I mean, I can have 1, 2, 5 beers, right? And fish. If I'm playing tennis, I can't go during the break and have a Modelo. It's not going to happen. Yeah, there is skill to fish, and I am not qualified to fish because I'm terrible. I just want to know what the work is.
Yeah.
Backing the boat in? I can't even do that.
It's all a fair question.
Could you back a boat in the lake? Could you back a boat?
Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not very well.
Me neither. There's no way in Hades.
I mean, here's the thing that this question has branched off into like 7 questions.
I love it. We love our audience. You guys are much smarter than we are.
Yeah. Water polo. Yeah, I mean, water polo is pretty tough.
Part of a team, though.
Yeah,
you're part of a team.
True. Okay, we're going to get to these calls about, I think they're all about fishing.
Yes.
We will get to them coming up next. 615-737-1025. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works. Chase and Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe live today at Tennessee Brew Works. Dr. Crane is back at the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. This has now evolved into fishing.
Right. I love it.
And I love it. All right. We got Dustin and Mike want to weigh in on this. I want to hear from both of you. Dustin, you're going to lead us off on fishing. What you got?
Yeah, I'm no expert fisherman, and I couldn't touch these guys out there. There's a reason they get, $70,000 to $120,000 bass boats and all the equipment they can think of, all these very expensive depth finders and things, multiple depth finders on these boats. But you got to know what the barometric pressure is, the time of year where the bait fish are, structure underwater. You got to learn your lake. You got to know what's under there. You got to know that fish like drop-offs because they sit there and wait for little fish to come and eat them. You got to know your water depth, the different lures for different situations. Just learning how to skip with a bait caster will keep y'all busy for the next 3 years, probably.
You're not wrong.
Well, and it would keep us all entertained if you video recorded Big Joe doing it.
Nobody wants to see that. Especially my fat ass falls in the lake. I'm not doing that.
Oh, definitely record that. You might be a pretty good piece of bait, brother. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah, but in my opinion, mountain climbing, I think mountain climbing is probably the toughest mental sport, but it's probably the most rewarding. It's just you and the good Lord up there, and whatever he decides, what kind of wind he decides to throw in your direction, or an earthquake, just out of the blue.
What are there? Can you climb that for money?
Fishing.
Is that a sport? Is mountain climbing a sport? Can you make money off that?
Okay, if we're saying bowling's a sport, I'm gonna tell somebody to shut the whatever you can fill in up about mountain climbing, because it's definitely a sport if bowling is.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm 100% with you. Thanks for the call, Dustin.
Yep.
Let's go to Mike on Kentucky Lake. Wants to weigh in on this. What you got?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Listen, bass fishing, I know fishing sounds pretty generic, but when you're fishing a bass tournament, you're fishing for 8 hours under whatever conditions you draw. If it's 40-mile-an-hour winds and you got 3-foot rollers on Kentucky Lake, you're out there fishing. And you're fishing against anywhere from 100 to 400 other fishermen, and you're all alone, and you're fishing for anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. There's a little bit of stress involved, and it's a lot of work.
All right, so so mental stress, right? Is that what we're getting?
Oh yes,
Okay.
there's a lot of mental stress. I'll take just an example. Back in 2001, I was fishing on Kentucky Lake, a national championship tournament on a trail. First place was a new bass boat, which in 2001, it was about a $60,000 boat, which relates to about a $120,000 boat today.
Jeez.
And I missed winning that boat by 0.23 pounds.
0.23?
0.23 pounds, yes.
Good Lord.
And you talk about some stress. When you remember that when you're out there fishing tournaments, you're like every hundredth of an ounce counts. Could be the difference between winning a $60,000 boat and second place being $12,000.
Man,
So,
But isn't it purely like a game of chance? Because you don't know how big the fish is going to be when it bites your hook.
no, but it takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of scouting. You got to spend a lot of time on the water. Dustin had some good points. You got to know what the fish are going to do under certain conditions. It's a very cerebral sport.
that's a good word. That's a good word. So, Mike, what I'm guessing now, next tournament you're in, you take about 10 pool balls and you shove like 3 in the fish's mouth. That way, that'll get you at least 0.30 weight.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, people have tried that, and
I'm sure.
they're not really appreciated on the lake. after that.
Well, Mike, we're going to
You know.
come up one day and do our show from up there somehow, some way.
Well, you keep saying that.
I
I'm
know.
expecting you to do that.
This damn ankle bracelet will be off in June, so we'll be good.
Okay. I know some people. I might be able to get it off early for you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
That's good. Let's go to Nate, who wants to weigh in on our question of the day. Nate, what you got?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think for me, man, the hardest mental sport would probably be trying to ride a bike across mountains, the Tour de France.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really mad at Lance Armstrong, man. The man only had one testicle, man. You know what I mean? He only had one testicle, and he riding over mountains and stuff. You need a little boost, man. You know what I mean? And then another thing, guys, look, I mean, I know golf has always been kind of popular, man, but it's just out of control now, man. I know the Masters are good, man, but come on, man. It's just it's taking over all the ESPN channels, all the sports channels. I mean, come on, man.
But think about it, though, my man. It's April, man. There's nothing going on, right? Once football starts, see ya, golf, baseball, hit the road, man. It's all about football come August.
Yeah, you got a good point, brother. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
All right,
Thank
man.
you, guys. That was a great call. That was a really good one by Nate. Charles wants to weigh in. Charles, what you got?
I appreciate y'all taking my call. Yeah, I've done a lot of sports. I played golf. I played basketball. I played football. I was a swimmer, and I'm going to tell you the toughest sport mentally and physically I've ever done was being a long-distance swimmer. You're out there in the water. You don't have an earpiece in your ear to talk to anybody. It's just you in the water against seven other lanes, and you're swimming against the clock. And to me, there's nothing harder than that because you are alone. Even in the Olympics or open water, it is you get paid for it or you get a gold medal, and you don't get paid very well. So to me, it's always been a long-distance swimmer.
Charles, again, I am ignorant about this whole world. Are you cognizant where you are in the water as opposed to where other swimmers are? Do you have any idea where they are? Can you feel them? Can you have a sense, or you just got to go at your own best pace?
It's the length of the race is actually dependent on where you're taking notice of where everybody's at. Like when you get into the 1500 or the 2000 meter race or more, or even the 5,000, you're not really looking at where people are at until you're getting into the last quarter of the race. And by then, either you're in a zone at your own speed or you've lost the race. So you have a sense, but you're more apt to going at your own pace, swimming against yourself and the clock.
Okay. When you bob your head up, can your coach tell you what place you're in? Like he holds up four fingers or nothing?
No, you don't even see your coach because, I mean, you see the side of the pool, but you very rarely see your coach. Most of the time your coaches aren't walking up and down. I mean, you see them in the Olympics, but when you're in tournaments, there are no coaches walking up and down the side of the pool.
Got it.
Wow.
You got somebody that's at the end of each wall that holds a placard down under the water. When you make your turn, you see that placard to tell you what lap you're on.
Ah, okay.
And you got to know how many laps you're going for that race, and that's basically your control of you have no control over how the speed of anybody else is unless they're in your wash.
Crazy. Thank you for that, Charles. We had
Thanks,
no idea.
Charles.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff.
I didn't even think about swimming. I mean, I didn't even.
Oh yeah, no, but that's a good one. That is wow. Well done. I didn't expect this question to go the different branches, have the different branches that it did. But
right, I thought we'd have tennis, UFC, and golf.
Yeah.
That's the ones. But the gymnast one, I mean, the swimming one, I mean, all these are just. you versus you, as Dr. Crane put it, man, it's difficult, and you gotta fight that, and then get past that, and give everything you got, man. That's tough. God bless those guys and girls.
Preds fans, tomorrow night is the final Smashville Live of the season. We'll be at Brewhouse South in Cool Springs starting at 6 o'clock. Join Max Hers and Kara Hammer as they will host players Joachim Kimmel and Fedor Svechkov. They will be the player guests tomorrow night for Smashville Live, presented by Gary Force Acura. You can come by and listen. You can meet the players. You can get autographs, pictures, all of that stuff tomorrow night at Brewhouse South in Cool Springs for the final Smashville Live of the year. We'll have more coming from Tennessee Brew Works. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. We're number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. We're at Tennessee Brew Works today. They're the official craft beer of the football offseason coverage here on 102.5 The Game. Locally brewed, community-driven Tennessee Brew Works. Finely tuned craft beer for finely tuned fans. And we're excited to have them partnered with us this year. And we always enjoy being here, especially on a game day when the Predators are in action tonight at Bridgestone Arena.
Love it, man.
Going to be fun.
Heck yeah, it is.
We had a lot of fun in that first hour with Lance Armstrong.
It's now a trending topic on
the best
show.
call.
Man.
But yeah, I wanted to kind of throw this at you. I saw this on ESPN. Adam Rittenberg has put out a piece called College Coaches Pick the 2026 NFL Draft Sleepers. And, you know, he basically talked about once the wave of the big names washes over, that's when the draft gets interesting. NFL teams are ultimately looking for value in drafting, and that truly starts at the end of day 2 and into day 3. Every NFL talent evaluator is looking for a few sleepers or under-the-radar players slotted outside the top 50 to 60 selections. I polled more than 30 college coaches to identify potential sleeper picks for the upcoming draft in Pittsburgh. Most coaches talked about their own players, but some identified under-the-radar prospects they faced and explain why they're going to succeed at the next level. You will recognize some names below, including Heisman Trophy runner-up Diego Pavia and Texas defensive mainstay Michael Taffy, but others likely won't ring a bell. That's the point. These are the names to study up on before the end of the month.
Okay.
All right. So for quarterbacks, they have Luke Altmaier from Illinois, which he's gotten a little bit of buzz.
So they think these are going to be guys
Sleepers.
that hit after.
Yeah. Sleeper picks.
Not day one guys.
Correct.
Okay.
So Luke Altmaier, Haynes King from Georgia Tech, who I thought had a very nice college career.
Gruden loves that dude.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man.
And then Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt.
Okay. Somebody's going to take him the 7th round. I mean, you got to.
Oh, I think so. This is what it says. What else to know? NFL evaluators know plenty about Pavia after he filled college football headlines the past 2 seasons. He changed Vanderbilt's program trajectory and led them to the first 10-win season last fall while finishing as the Heisman Trophy runner-up. Pavia won SEC Offensive Player of the Year in 2025 and the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award after being named SEC Newcomer of the Year in 2024. He significantly improved his accuracy, rising from about 60% of completions in 23 to 70.6 in 25. The 5'10", 207-pound Pavia did on-field workouts at the Combine, but didn't go through athletic testing. Quote, "There's a total focus on winning for him," said Vanderbilt coach Clark Lee. "People like to create narratives around who he is and who he's not. All I know is that for 2 years, this guy helped elevate everyone's attitude internally. He measures 5'10" at the Combine, and there's almost this question around him playing quarterback. When you look at his analytic measures, his average depth of target, big game throws beyond the sticks, his numbers are right there along with Mendoza's. He became a better quarterback from 24 to 25. I believe that he's got a chance to not just land somewhere, but actually build a great career when he continues proving people wrong and winning."
Well, I mean, that's your head coach. You want him to say that. I mean, I expect Clark Lee to say that and come out and say that. Look, Pavia's got a lot to prove. I mean, would be the shortest starting quarterback since what, Flutie that's been out there?
What's Russell?
Breeze was pretty, I think 5'11", they listed as. So you're going to get a chance. I just don't think that to say he's Mendoza, no. All right, put Pavia on Indiana's
Russ
team.
is 5'11".
Put Pavia on Indiana's football team. Did they do what they did?
Joe, that's a really good question that I mean,
right? I don't know.
I'd probably say yes.
I don't. Every time that dude's been put down, he has risen up and
I'd probably
proved you wrong.
I mean, here's the thing though. You take 2 games, we're having a different conversation. Like if they play better to start the game against Alabama and Texas, take the bowl game out.
Right.
you change the starts even of those Alabama and Texas games, we might be having a different conversation.
That's a
right
good
now.
point. That's a really good point.
Because he probably wins the Heisman, and they would have been in the playoff.
Yeah. It'd been tough to put him over, put Mendoza over him. And again, I mean, the Texas game, they got walloped in the first half, and they rallied and almost came back and won that game. I mean, the guy's a winner. I'm not going to – but you're talking putting a franchise in his hands, and he's been smart in the last couple of months to shut his mouth.
He has.
Been very smart. Diego, I know you're listening. Proud of you. Shut your mouth.
Yep.
And just letting your work do the talk, and then wherever you land – go out and get it done. I'm not knocking that this guy one day will not start in a game. Tim Hasselbeck talked last week about putting in a package for him on an RPO with some team to get 2 yards. You don't want your starting quarterback to get pounded doing that.
Right.
Put him in and let him run. I mean, there's no harm in that. And go through camp and see the different value he's got. They do it. Taysom Hill with the Saints has been successful for many years doing that. But, I mean, I'm not putting Pavia down. I saw him at New Mexico State beat MTSU 13-7, and Middle did a great job of stopping him between the 20s. He couldn't get anywhere. And I think I texted you. I was like, he's going to beat Auburn next week.
Yeah.
And then he ran all over Auburn the next week in 23, and then came to the SEC and did that here. And so I'm not saying he can't do anything.
He's Kyler Murray's height. Kyler Murray's 5'10".
Oh, goodness. But we'll see. I mean, and they gave Kyler Murray as a first overall draft choice, and don't get it done. Pavia can work his way in there, but I'm not putting the dude down.
Yeah, I'll be very curious. Like what? I think we're all saying somebody will take a flyer on him in the 7th round. That's kind of how realistically how we feel. What will shock you? Anything above that? Like if somebody all of a sudden, like in the 4th round,
oh, absolutely,
like Pittsburgh takes him,
shocked.
I'd be floored.
There's nowhere I've seen that he's a 4th or 5th round guy.
He's not even ranked in some metrics. So.
But again, I mean, you get the perfect offense to put him in there and like, all right, he's our guy that's going to do this. And it's a roster spot. You know how valuable, you've covered sports a long time, you know how valuable a roster spot is on an NFL team. So if you're going to get him in there, let him do his work and see what he could do. But I think a 7th rounder would be good. And I don't know, any team could take him there, but watch him land with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Yeah, right.
615-737-1025. Coming up next, we'll look at some of the offensive linemen he has on this list that college coaches have said, watch out for them, because that's obviously going to be a position group that the Titans are going to be looking at when they're trying to find those sleepers coming up in just, what is it, a week and a half. Until the NFL draft. Thank goodness. We'll have more coming from Tennessee Brewworks today. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
All right, guys, Big Joe here. Listen, it's that time again to talk about getting you better, getting you well, and that's why we're so honored to be partnering with UnityPsychiatricCare.com. Very simple. It's UnityCares.com because they care about you. Caring professionals live right here in Middle Tennessee, and their only goal is get you back living the life that you deserve. UnityCares.com is the website. And again, we talk about it all the time. The question I get the most from people going to therapy is, like, I don't even know where to start. That's perfect. We got you covered there. UnityCares.com has every question that you need answered, all right there on the webpage. You can go there. You can surf that page and see all that they offer. So many great things. And again, their main goal is to get you back to living the life that you deserve. It's private. It's secure. It's confidential. They offer telehealth. Again, their goal is to get you back living that perfect life. Just go to the website, There's information there to click on and see where you stand with everything. Take the chance. I tell you all the time, going to therapy changed my life. And I know it can do the same for you as well. And again, if you've got a loved one and you notice that one of your loved ones isn't doing quite well, sit down with them, talk to them, go to the page together. Let them know that you care about them, that you want to be there for them to get well. And that's what Unity Cares is all about. Again, the website, unitycares.com, unitycares.com.
Chase Big Joe, 1025 The Game, 615-737-1025 is the phone and text line. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and we are presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, where we will be on Thursday. I look forward to that, as always. Big Shark wants to weigh in on Diego Pavia. What you got?
Hey, Jason, Big Joe, how you guys doing this afternoon?
We're good, man.
And I was just calling in with the Diego Padre situation. I know that he can be compared to like the play of Mendoza as far as like, those guys winning this year and opposed to winning last year for Diego, because he has improved as a quarterback. But in my opinion, if you put Diego on Indiana's team, they're going to win the national championship. They're going to be 16-0, just like with Mendoza. I really feel like that he was just one of those people that you could plug into a system that Nettie has built, and it's been a really good one. As we can see, they get in the playoff the last few years, and they just won the national championship undefeated. So I do believe that Diego can be one of those guys that can get drafted and go in and prove himself. Not saying that he will be a franchise quarterback, start off the back, but he could be one of those guys that has like a career like Sam Darnold. Maybe he goes somewhere and sits down for a while, and then he's able to finally get his chance with somebody that's good looking for a quarterback, and he can come in and show those guys what he can do. But my only thing with Mendoza is that everybody is so high on the horse. It's the Heisman throw. Without our hometown kid, Charlie Becker from Father Ryan, Nashville, Tennessee, Mendoza doesn't look like the quarterback, that everybody wants to portray him to be. And we're gonna see that in the NFL. We're definitely gonna see that. So I don't think a lot of people are giving Charlie Becker enough credit, because he was one of those big key players. He converted big, third and fourth down catches in the national championship game. He had that big moment in the Big Ten game where, pretty much they said that was Mendoza's Heisman moment. But in all reality, if Charlie Becker doesn't catch that ball, Mendoza doesn't have a Heisman moment. And he probably doesn't win the Heisman if Becker doesn't catch that ball.
Big Shark, let me ask you something. You consider Joe Montana a great quarterback?
I would say this. His style of play and who he played with, yes, he is a great quarterback because he did make, great football plays. He might have not been the biggest guy out there, but he was one of the toughest guys, and he did make smart football decisions.
All right, he won 2 Super Bowls before Jerry Rice got there. You can't say that it's not Montana's fault that he had Jerry Rice. So I'm just saying Mendoza and Charlie Becker's great. Don't get me wrong, Charlie Becker is an outstanding receiver. But to say that he's the reason that Indiana won the national championship, or the biggest reason, it's not really fair. Mendoza's a hell of a quarterback. He took a program that never won anything. And Tom Brady had a great rant about this on TV back during the season about winning at a place that doesn't know how to win. And Mendoza did that. Pavia is the same way. These guys are winners, right? I can't fault Mendoza because he's got Becker on his team or things like that. They're still good quarterbacks at the core. Don't fault them because they got good players around them.
No. I wasn't faulting Mendoza for having Becker. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Indiana won the championship solely over Becker, because that's not the case. Because in all reality, if you really want to break it down, I mean, Indiana had a mini NFL football team. Average age was 22 and a half to 24. So you have rookies and pretty much free agents, unsigned free agents playing in college football. So, yeah, Indiana was supposed to win a championship. I'm not taking that away from them, and I'm not taking away Mendoza's quarterback play. But what I'm saying is certain plays that Mendoza made, he got those plays made because of Becker. Becker was, I'm telling you, go back and look at Becker. I'm not trying to be biased because he's from Nashville, but really go back and look at Becker. Look at how he runs his routes. Every route he runs, it looks the same. So you never know where he's going or what he's going to do. So I'm just saying, in my opinion only, that I feel like Mendoza is a good quarterback, but his Heisman moments or his big play moments, they come from Becker, man. They come from Charlie. Charlie is a bad boy, and I just got to give him his props. I mean, that's just all I'm saying. I like, Mendoza. I like Diego. We've been able to watch him grow for the last 2 years, and what Diego has done at Vanderbilt, pretty much, a resurgence of Jay Cutler and even better. So I don't see why he can't get an opportunity like Mendoza, because Mendoza was playing somewhere that they didn't win a lot either. So, I mean, these guys kind of got to stop looking at the measurables so much, because we do have good quarterbacks that have been, shorter, under 6 foot. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, those guys have won Super Bowls. So you can't say just because a guy's not 6 foot that he can't go play quarterback in the NFL, because it's been debunked already.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
That's a great call. Thanks, Big Shark. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. You have a good day.
You too. Good call. I mean, he's right. And I hear what he's saying. I mean, I think the pieces are important, but
sure,
I think that both Mendoza and Pavia, if they're not there, you're having different conversations about both those teams.
Sure you are. Yeah, I mean, absolutely you are. And Pavia's, look, and they asked teammates about Pavia's at JUCO, at New Mexico State, at Vanderbilt about him. Nobody said a bad word. They're like, this guy comes prepared every single day. His main goal is to win. He just wants to win. I'll take that all day long over a guy who runs a 4.2 40 who did nothing in college. Sorry.
One of the first things you said when we started this show, I don't remember what we were talking about, but you said, I want guys that hate to lose more than they love to win.
Absolutely.
And Pavia is one of those guys that, like, he hates losing.
Mm-hmm.
He showed it. Now, he didn't handle it right when he lost the Heisman, but that right there proved it. Like, he hates to lose. And that, to me, you can't teach that. That you either have that or you don't. And I think NFL teams, I'm not saying in the first round, but they're going to look at that and go, you know what? If I can find a place for this guy on my team, I want that in my locker room.
Oh, absolutely. I go back. I sat in the end zone when Vanderbilt played LSU, and they won that game that day. And just watching Pavia run through the LSU defense, and these are guys that are going to get drafted, and they were exhausted.
Sure.
They couldn't catch him. They couldn't stop him. And, of course, Diego had a lot of good talent around him at Vanderbilt, but I just put the tape on. You know, I know he's 5'10" or whatever he is, and not the greatest arm in the world, but a lot of guys don't have there are some guys who have the greatest arm in the world. They're terrible quarterbacks. This guy just has a little something to get the job done, and I think teammates like that, and they rally around things like that. So if I'm a seventh rounder, maybe 6, I wouldn't be surprised to take him. If you hear some chatter and somebody's going to take him, then bring him on your team.
615-737-1025. That is our phone and text line. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll have more coming from Tennessee Brew Works here on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. We're at Tennessee Brew Works. Dr. Crane at the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios. 1137. Pavia is overrated. He will be the next Mark Sanchez, Trey Lance, Will Levis, etc. Here's the difference, though. Sanchez and Lance were first-round picks. Will Levis was a second-round pick. We're not saying Pavia's not going to be a day 1 or day 2 pick. He's going to be a day 3 pick.
Yeah, and that's fine.
So you can't, so if he's a day 3 pick and nothing happens, then nothing happens.
Yeah.
You can't say he's in those guys, like in the same breath as those guys.
I wonder what I know that's out there somewhere, the percentage of 7th rounders who make the opening day roster. And it's got to be.
I'm sure it's
5%.
Yeah, I would say like
so
less
fine.
than 10.
So, take a flyer in the 7th round. He's your guy, and then go for it.
Yeah.
We're going to waste it on a stupid punter? Give me a break.
Rick wants to follow up on Big Shark's comments on Mendoza. What you got, Rick?
Yeah, hey, I listen to y'all show every day and enjoy it. Big fan.
Thank you.
Now, where I'll start with this Shark guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Mendoza had plenty of Heisman moments. The one that stands out, the back of the end zone catch by Cooper, with 2 guys from Penn State right up in his grill, tackling him at the time he released the ball and went right there to Cooper. I mean, that's your Heisman moment right there. But there was many more. Becker's not the one that gave Mendoza his Heisman moment. Yeah, he come on at the end of the season, made some awesome catches, to help Mendoza out. But, Mendoza had over 30 touchdown passes this season, which I believe led the NCAA in Division I. So, to say he's not going to be good in the NFL, I'm not buying this guy's opinion. He's going to be good because he's done things the right way, and he studies the game, and he's a franchise quarterback. Now, as far as Pavia, he's a good quarterback on the field, but he lacks character and maturity off of it, and that's why Mendoza won the Heisman. The right guy won the Heisman Trophy.
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, they undefeated. He was the best player in the country on the best team, which is fine. Also, I didn't, that was a NFL team he played on because those guys were 23, 24 years old. Look, Cignetti built the perfect team. You're going to blame him? That's the NIL. You could do that these days. Vanderbilt had a hell of an offensive line, too, as well. That was an experienced football team. So when you start breaking it down left and right, you can see all the stuff, the excuses and everything you can pour in there. But Pavia's a good quarterback. Mendoza's a good quarterback. Chase, we agreed on this. You flip-flop them, Vanderbilt, Indiana. I think Indiana wins the national championship with Pavia. I think he's that good of a quarterback. His character off the field, besides being a dumbass after the Heisman, what has he done?
And one last comment on this Sharks take on Indiana, winning the championship because they had a pro team.
Yeah.
Every NCAA school has pro team players. I mean, they're paying them on. They're great players. Indiana just isn't the only team that has a pro team, so
Correct.
to speak.
Yep. Rick, we love you, man. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Rick and Big Shark may have to fight in the parking lot.
Big Shark brought it, though. He got some good conversation going there.
No, this is good. And this is what we enjoyed. I said to Joe during the break I don't care what we talk about. I like having a conversation with you guys and girls.
Absolutely.
So, in our next one, Kenny the mailman, who wants to answer our question of the day. Kenny, what's up?
Hello, good friends.
Are you going to say that the toughest individual sport is carrying the mail? Because I don't know if that's a sport.
I'm not going there, but I know Joe is a Rayon City kid. He would have fit so well in West Nashville and Cone High School. He would have been one of our best guys ever. But it took me years because this was wrong. Just growing up, if you didn't play football, baseball, or basketball, you weren't even recognized. You were made fun of. The kids that wanted to be musicians or sing or march in the band or do soccer or anything like that, we were brutal on them. But it took me a long time to learn if you do something at the highest level, whatever it is, you have sacrificed so many hours you've given up so much of your life, and you just got to honor whatever people do.
No,
Have either one of y'all-
you're right. You're right. Real quick, and we say this all the time. People about athletes, people are jealous of where you are. Nobody's jealous of how you got there.
Yeah, they don't know the behind the scenes. Has
Right.
anyone one of y'all been to Scott Hamilton's fundraiser each year that he has? He brings
I've been
skaters
before,
in.
yeah.
Have you been, Joe?
Yes, I have one time.
I went, and these little 90-pound human beings go by about 30 miles an hour backwards, leave the earth, spin around 3 times, and land on a toe. And then they got this move just about every one of them does where they go in a circle about 40 times faster than you can count.
Right.
It made me dizzy just to watch them. And I'm going, I don't understand how long it took to learn that, how they do that without getting dizzy. But and it's not even a competition. That's just like putting on a fundraiser. So whatever people do, if you're at the highest level, I might not do, like it or follow it, but I honor what you did to get there.
Yeah. No, look, that is a fair statement and a fair call. Thank you, Kenny.
Hey, y'all have a great day.
You too. Kenny the mailman. 615-737-1025. He's right, though.
He is right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no wrong or right answer, but it's just that if you attain to that high level, man, God bless you.
If Diego Pavia is 6'2", what is this discussion?
You can't do this.
Well, I am.
Yeah, you can't because, I mean, who is he? Who is Diego at 6'2"? Is there a player comparable?
I don't know, but I mean, everybody. The biggest knock on him that people keep bringing up is that he's too little to play in the NFL. So I'm asking you, with everything else is the same. He's the same. He can make the same throws. He has the same athletic ability. He's just 5 inches taller.
Yeah, I mean, no. But, I mean, is Ty Simpson, Diego at that level? I mean, he runs.
Yeah.
Got a hell of an arm. Pretty good quarterback. I mean, is Simpson what Pavia would be if he was 6'2"? I think Pavia's a better athlete.
Yeah, so let's say like 6'2", 235.
Jeez. That's a big boy right there running.
Well, he's 207 right now, so I'm trying to just
that's
what he's listed at least.
That's a big quarterback. Who is that big? I mean, I don't know, man.
All right. What if you, Joe Dubin, if God called you and said you can design the perfect quarterback, what's the height and weight?
6'4", 220.
Okay.
I think Dan Marino was the perfect size for a quarterback.
Damn, that's what I was in high school. What went wrong?
I think Dan Marino is the perfect size. I am not a guy who likes – we talk about this. I don't want to see a quarterback run. Scramble, okay. But I think that's the perfect size. 6'4", 220 is the perfect size for me. Again, but look at all the great quarterbacks. I mean, Roger Staubach. I mean, Montana. Weren't the biggest guys. And, I never thought Brady was until they came to the practice here.
Yeah.
Brady had the biggest hands I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is a monster at 6'5" or so. But, again, you look at Drew Brees. What was he? I remember talking to Donnie Nicky one time about Drew Brees because Drew Brees went to Purdue. Donnie Nicky went to Ohio State. And I said, what was it like facing him? He's like, it was awful. He goes, he was the best quarterback at the West Coast offense we'd ever seen. He couldn't stop Drew Brees. So whether you're 6'7", 6'2", or 5'11", if you've got talent, it will show out somehow, some way. And then Donnie was telling me, he's like, hey, he wasn't the biggest guy, but every pass was perfect. He knew where I was going to line up. He was that good of a quarterback. So they will fight. If you got talent, you'll make it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let me ask you this. Because you talked about last year the designed RPOs for Cam Ward. You don't like them.
Oh, I hate them.
And there are other examples of using a quarterback like that when that probably shouldn't be. Is that the perfect – like if the Titans took Pavia in the 7th round and the idea was to try and make him like a Taysom Hill and have designed runs where they take Ward out of the game or keep Ward in as a decoy, but Pavia is the guy, would you support that?
Absolutely I would. But here's the thing. It's like, oh, he's coming. He's going to run. Who's to say you can't pop back and get a tight end as a slow release
Sure
on the outside. Boom, there you go. He's going to make that. And if he gets hit doing that, scrambling around. Don't put Cam Ward in that position again.
If you got a design run, but all of a sudden he drops back and Iron Man is standing there wide open in the middle of the field, you're going to tell him to take it every time.
Right, yeah. Or if he's covered, then he's going to run. And then you got to worry about him running. And so, look, people have said, well, when Taysom Hill comes in, we know what they're going to do. Do you? I mean, he's been pretty damn successful. You guys have been able to stop
He's been a tight end. He's been a quarterback. He's been a running back. He's been a punt returner.
Yeah, I think
if he's done everything.
I think if it's 3rd and 2 at the 44 plus 44 going in, and Pavia runs in there, and you're like, all right, what's going to happen? You got this guy, you got that guy, all kind of questions and concerns, and covering your guy and assignments. I mean, you want to create so much division on the defense that they're looking around to the sidelines to play a snap to gun. I'm all about that, man, and Tim Hasselback's all about that too. So. If we go wrong, we can blame Tim. He knows a lot more than we know.
Jack wants to weigh in on this conversation with Diego Pavia. Jack, what you got?
You know, you think about this every year, and there's always going to be a handful of these top-notch college quarterbacks that come in and never pan out, and then some of them that aren't all that and go crazy. I think the thing about it, you stop and think about Mendoza, treated like a king. The best coaches, the best players around him, you're going to throw him into the nest that's the Oakland Raiders, whether Tom Brady's running it or not. So I think the one thing that gets overlooked is how good is their ability to make chicken salad out of chicken squat.
That's a good – thank you for saying squat, Jack. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, Jack.
But he's right. I mean, I get it. And they're the Vegas Raiders, but that's okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, you could throw – look, he went from Cal to Indiana, and, yeah, he had good talent around him, but you still got to be good to make those throws, lead that team. They all loved him up there, and he proved that his worth. Who's better right now, quarterback coming out of college, than Fernando Mendoza?
Agreed. There isn't one.
And what do the Raiders need?
Quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you get plugged in there.
It's all about – I mean, like, here's the thing. We're not talking about the Titans being a screwed-up franchise as much because we like what they've now put together.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they got the front office right, and we think they have the coaching staff right.
Yep.
Now, we could be proven wrong. We've been proven wrong a lot.
Right.
But the thing with the Raiders is, I mean, and hell, you had Pete Carroll for a year, and it was awful.
Terrible.
Now, how much of that was Pete just has lost it, or how much of that was you got Mark Davis meddling and it's just a screwed up franchise?
Right.
I lean a little more towards it's screwed up franchise, but we'll see. Real quick, DK and Mount Juliet, Pavia would be a first round draft pick if he were 6'2" and can run like he does.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely would, but he's not, and that's the problem. So maybe, again, take a flyer on him, put him in there, see what he can do, and you got it. You're wasting a 7th round draft choice. Oh, well. But what if, I tell people all the time, what if it turns out better than you possibly imagined?
Yep.
What if he becomes that guy and like, all right, we got something good here. Football evolves every year. It gets cyclical. It goes to the run game for 3 or 4 years. It goes to the passing game. The Wildcat came in for a year or two. I mean, it's always changing and doing things. I just think he would be of value to somebody in the 7th round to run a kind of weird, hybrid, fun offense.
615-737-1025. We'll have more coming to end hour number 2. Coming up next, John McClain at the top of the next hour. Here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, live at Tennessee Brew Works today. A lot of people weighing in on this Pavia Mendoza thing. 5'6", being 5'9", and having a mediocre arm is not a winning combo. Flutie was his size, but he had a great arm. Diego isn't that, and his athleticism isn't all that great in the NFL at his size.
I've heard from scouts they love his arm. I mean, it's not Dan Marino arm, but it's like pretty damn good. So, tomato, man.
Here's going to be the interesting question. Who has a better NFL career? And that can and look, this does not have to be Hall of Fame by any means. Tim Tebow or Diego Pavia? Tim Tebow's accolades are first round pick, won a playoff game.
He did,
but it was a very short career.
He won as many playoff games as Kirk Cousins has.
Yeah, I mean he won a playoff game.
I don't know because I still think Diego Pavia ends up in the CFL.
Yeah, he could. He could,
and that's okay. I mean, you can make a nice living in the CFL doing that. So I don't know. That's a great question. I really don't know.
Justin in Greenbrier says, I know this is off topic, but have the Preds tipped their hand on who is starting in net tonight? The reports were Justus Ananen was in the starter's crease. So that's not
Let me ask
gospel, but that's
you
what it
covered
was
this team. You're part of the broadcast crew. And look, let's put everything out there. He started Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to start tonight. Justus Ananen. What does that signal? He's the hot hand?
He's the hot hand.
Is he the future?
He's the hot hand.
Okay.
That's what I think. Look, a new GM is going to come in here. And likely that's going to be two people. There's going to be a president of hockey ops, and then there's going to be a general manager.
Oh, no.
That's what I think is going to happen. Nope, that's kind of the norm right now in hockey.
Okay.
And other sports. Don't read into that because of what happened on Great Circle Road.
Right.
I mean, look, that could have worked, but I don't know if they had the right situation there. But anyway, nonetheless.
Okay.
The new people could come in here and go, we like UC Saros. You were right to sign him to that contract. We just got to build around him.
Okay.
The new people could come in here and they could go, I don't know why y'all signed UC Saros to that contract, but we'll figure it out. So, I mean, that could definitely happen.
Okay.
Now, you have to keep in mind that the people that are part of this search and going to be bringing in the new people were the same people that were a part of signing Saros. So take that for what you will. I think Saros is a good goaltender. He's won a lot of games for this team. But I also understand the knocks on him. And it doesn't help that Justus Ananen had the best game of the year by a Predators goaltender, had the first and to this point only shutout of the year by a Predators goaltender. And quite frankly, he's just been playing better as of late. Saros has played well, but Ananen's been better. So it doesn't help the argument from the anti-Saros club that now you're in this situation, because the right move that Andrew Brunette needs to make, he's making. You play the hot hand.
Right.
You don't look at the contracts. You don't look at, oh, he's the starter, he's the backup. You play the right guy for right now, and that's what he's doing. That's not going to help the future argument, and I understand that.
It's just telling to me that the biggest game of the year and Ananen is in goal. And I didn't know if it's because it's the hot hand or that we're confident with him right now, but the guy you're paying a lot of money to allegedly is not going to start tonight. I don't know. Just get the job done. Just win the next two games and pray the Kings lose one and you get in the playoffs. Anything can happen. So that's a big decision coming up. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the operations guy and a GM. Who gets the final say in that? Are we having the same questions again?
Not really.
So who gets the final say? The GM?
Me. No.
Might as well be.
No, the GM.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's worked in other places.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be fine. The reason that you're unsure about it is David Poyle did both jobs. Barry Trotz has done both jobs. But Barry said it last week on DVD that looking at it from that perspective of having two people, because it would be good, because Barry's had many situations where he's needed to be two places at one time and he can't. And so, like, let's say he needs to meet with, Brunette on the NHL team, but there's a huge scouting meeting on prospects and how they've played with Milwaukee or elsewhere. One could go do that and one can go do the other.
Okay. All right. Do you feel better about the future after watching these young guys play the last 4 to 6 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, same.
I do. I feel better about it. I think that you got now. I don't think you have I don't think you have like a 50 goal scorer, but I never thought you were going to have that in any of these guys. I think you have some really good role players that you can use, in the coming years. You have, I think, adequately replaced what you traded away.
Okay.
Now you don't have the top line center. You don't have the big boy forward necessarily.
Did that sting Saturday when who's the guy McCarron scored?
A little.
Yeah, right.
I laughed.
Same.
I was like,
Same. I heard Pete call his name. I was like, oh no, of all the people in the Wild to score, it had to be that guy to get it done. So tonight they've won 15 straight over.
Yeah, it's something like that.
San Jose.
It's like a 17 or 18 game point streak.
Just two more.
Yeah.
Do you think if they win the next two, they get in?
I think
because the Kings are playing teams that are out of it, right?
I want to say yes.
Okay.
I really want to believe it.
All right.
And the only thing you can control is you winning your games. They got to have some help.
Okay.
Kings have to lose.
Ugh.
So I just,
So if the Preds lose tonight, is it over?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. Good. Good. Desperation.
It's not mathematically over, but yeah.
I like desperate hockey.
They got to
teams.
win out.
Okay. All right.
6-1. Yeah. So we'll have coverage for you at 6:00 tonight. I'll actually be on with DVD when Barry Trotz comes on at 5, so I'll have a chance to talk to Barry.
Look at you,
Yeah,
pal.
it should be fun. Coming up next, John McClain going to join the show. We'll talk to him next here on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, Monday edition, hour number 3, live from Tennessee Brew Works. Having a good time here today. Not a lot of nice conversation and debate. We say hello now to John McClain, who is down in Houston, joins us as we are, by my math, 9 days away from the draft, something like that. John, it's almost here because we're all tired of talking about the same things. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
We are fantastic. Any concern in your mind with the reports that Reuben Bain was in a car accident a couple of years ago that killed someone? He was acquitted of any wrongdoing. No charges were filed, all of those things. But the story just now coming out, I have a feeling NFL teams were already aware of this, but does it concern you at all?
Well, it should concern people because he got another speeding ticket. According to Trey Wallace of Outkick, he got one last year, 2025. So, and it was one where he's driving in triple digits. So, yes, it better be concerning that if a guy has a wreck that kills a woman and he comes back and he didn't learn from it, you got to worry about something like besides his short arms.
I know in my years of talking to Floyd that, he would basically in these pre-draft, part of the pre-draft process would basically have the conversation of, is there anything that I need to know that's going to make me or you look stupid? Is that, that's pretty much the standard operating procedure with NFL teams, right?
Well, it is, and they have private detectives looking into people. You look at James Pierce last year. He wasn't on a lot of teams' draft boards because of his off-the-field issues, the quote-unquote baggage that he brought. Look what's happened to him, even though he had 10 sacks. First time they've had double digits in a long time. And when you take a chance on somebody, and Jalen Carter, they took a chance on him at Philadelphia, and so far it seems like he's been a great player, and he hasn't had any issues. But you have to worry about somebody who has more than one incident. And the fact that according to Outkick, he had that second one, which most people must not realize or they're not reading Outkick. And that would be very, very concerning. Just like anytime you take a guy from Georgia, and those guys that if they've had heavy feet when they're driving, you got to worry about that. Now, the Texans, they love Georgia players. They don't have any, I don't think, who've acted like they've been at the Indy 500. But you have to worry about their decision-making, their maturity, what they're doing after hours when they should be back in their homes. But, yeah, that is a big red flag. I wonder what would have happened. You remember Laramie Tunsil when that former girlfriend blew the whistle on him? If that had come out, say, 3 or 4 days before that and everybody had time to react, he might have fallen even farther.
Yeah, that's all crazy. John, I want to ask something. This is not football related. I'm just curious. Do people in Houston care about the Rockets in the NBA, that they're in the playoffs?
They sell out every game this year. So, yeah, they care about it. They've won 9 of their last 10. They've got the same record as last season, even though they didn't have their point guard and they lost 2 other players during the season. People are fired up because the Astros are stinking it up. A lot of people are turning their attention to the Rockets, including me.
Good. John, we had an interesting debate in the last hour about Diego Pavia, Fernando Mendoza, quarterbacks coming out in this draft and everything. The 7th rounder, the percentage of a guy making the team at 7th round draft choice is about right around 10%. If you're a team that could see maybe a hybrid offense with a Diego Pavia, would you take a flyer on somebody like that in the 7th round?
Gary Kubiak, who's one of the best offensive coaches I've seen, if he saw a quarterback that had one thing that he thought he could develop and help the guy become an NFL quarterback, whether it was a starter or a backup, he would take him in a low round. Most of the time it didn't work, not like other positions. But the fact that Pavia is a winner, leader, what he's accomplished before he got to Vandy, after he got to Vandy. I think he'll definitely be drafted. The height doesn't matter as much as it used to. And if Pavia, he should not want to be drafted in the 7th round. He should want to be not drafted so he can be a free agent and he can get more signing bonus if you have multiple offers. And I think he will if he's not drafted.
With a 7th rounder, that's look, there's not a lot of draft commodity out there. If you get drafted, would a team be with you longer if they thought you got more upside because they did waste a draft choice on you as opposed to being an undrafted guy?
No, I don't think that'll have anything to do with it, Joe. If they have to think about it like this, you don't draft him, but you have to give him $25,000 as a signing bonus when you would have to give him 10. That's what's most important is how much you have to pay him. But I don't think the team would draft him. He's destined for a practice squad, and he better get used to it. And I think that it would be good for him. And there's teams out there that want winners, guys that help transform not just an offense, but a program. And I'm sure Clark Lee's given him great recommendations. So Pavia is going to end up somewhere for his sake. I hope it's with a team that has a really good quarterbacks coach as a head coach, like Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell. Go somewhere instead of a team that's going to be changing the coaches after the first year, and then the ones that like to are gone. And I wish him all the luck. And if he gets drafted higher, that's even better.
John, the Ty Simpson thing is intriguing to me. I've seen him go anywhere from he could go second to the Jets, or he might fall to midway second round. If you're Ty Simpson, and John, you know the NFL very well, where would you like to land if you're Ty Simpson?
Well, first of all, you would not want to go to the Jets.
Right.
That first contract, okay, it looks good, but the second contract is the big one. And if you're drafted by the Jets, it looks like Aaron Glenn will probably be out. They'll bring in an offensive coach the next year. They'll change the system, the terminology, and everything you learned will be out the window. He should hope it's like Dan Marino in '83, Ben Roethlisberger in '04. You fall and you end up with a much better team, or even Aaron Rodgers going to the Packers, and I think it was, can't remember, it's 23rd or 28th.
Right.
So, yeah, your ego has to take a little hit, and you don't make as much money right off the bat. But, boy, if it works out for you, you got a chance to make the big bucks on the second contract. Just look at a guy like, my mind's gone blank, 49ers quarterback.
Purdy.
Be a Mr. Irrelevant, and then getting $256 million. That I can't tell you another time that's happened. But if you're quarterback, you don't want to go to the worst teams generally.
He is John McClain from Houston. We'll have more with him coming up next here from Tennessee Brewworks. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday, continuing our conversation with John McClain. John, I probably ask you this every year around this time, but it comes up with our listeners. Why is the NFL the only sport that does free agency before the draft?
Oh boy, that is a great question. I've never thought about it other than to say that's just the way it is. I think they, instead of seeing who, it has to do with timing, because you want to get free agency out the way and then focus on the draft and then see what holes you need to fill in the draft. That's the only thing I can think about. I've never heard it even broached that they might be considering doing free agency after the draft.
Well, and the other thing, too, when you look at, baseball does their draft in the middle of the season, but hockey and the NBA do it, 3 or 4 weeks after the season ends. Why hasn't the NFL considered that? I know they got the combine, a few weeks after the Super Bowl, but, I've always wondered, could they do it in late March, early April rather than late April, early May, which I feel like it almost feels later every year, even though it's about the same.
I think they would tell those other sports, we are number one by far. Why should we give a rat's ass about anything you do? And if anything, you should do it like this. I'll tell you something I just thought about, Chase, while you were talking. If you have the draft before free agency, there's a good chance all those players getting all those free agent dollars are not going to give it. Why should we give it to a wide receiver when we just drafted Joe Dokes in the first round? And I think some of it might have to do with the Players Association likes it the way it is. And it's amazing, though, could they make more mistakes if they move free agency to after the draft with all the time and money put in it? I think I told you guys, it used to be when it was 17 rounds, they would do it in December, and they'd have the draft in New York, and then they'd all pile into a bus and go over to Giant Stadium, Yankee Stadium, and see who the Giants were playing and watch the game. That's just hard for me to imagine.
That is something. John McClain's with us today. John, where do you think A.J. Brown lands, and can he go back to the Eagles, or is that broken?
I just heard a great thing today that I can't even remember who was saying it, and it was about Jalen Hurts and this big expose that ESPN had about Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls, and he's won 1. And it's like they're always wanting to change him. Well, why should he change for doing things that he's not comfortable with?
Right.
Shouldn't the coaching adjust to what he's comfortable with, especially at this stage of his career? And one of the things they say is toughest on a quarterback in this day and age is selfish wide receivers who make a big deal when they don't get the ball. And it's pretty obvious to everybody A.J. Brown's been a distraction because they're always worried about him. And they say then quarterbacks go out of their way to get the ball to the player who's whining the loudest, especially if he's a friend of his. So I think he's gone. I think he's gone around the draft. I think it'll be New England. Mike Vrabel loves him. They did not re-sign Stephon Diggs, who had over 100 catches. They have a big need there for Drake May. It just seems like a natural fit.
I agree with that. John, a guy that we love around here, Jawan Jennings, he's still out there in the free agent market. And it blows my mind that somebody's not taking him. I haven't heard that he's, asking for the moon for everything, but I'm curious why nobody has signed him.
There's 2 reasons it could be. 1, could be health issues. Number 2, it could be that he and his agent think he's worth more than they do. After that initial wave, the farther we get closer, and it'll be after the draft, a team that didn't get a receiver, and then they will pivot to the other receivers who are available, and they still won't get a lot of money. And I would think Jennings would be a really nice fit there for Cam Ward because they want to do everything they can to help Cam Ward.
Right.
Cam Ward's great example of what I was talking about earlier. You go to a bad team early on, your coach gets fired, you don't have stability, you have new terminology, a new system, and you're hoping now that Brian Daboll can do really well for Robert Saleh. But then if he does, he's going to be gone in a couple of years. Then you'd have another one coming in there. And that's why some people say your head coaches should be offensive coaches who call the plays. Then if you lose a coordinator, what's the big deal? The bottom line, though, if they do well, Daboll gets another head coaching job, it means because they're winning. And that's the number one priority. But what they don't want to do is keep changing the system on him, which happens to too many.
We're talking with John McClain down in Houston. It's looking like more and more Travis Hunter is going to play corner, and that's going to be his permanent position, according to the Jags. Is that the right move for them to finally pick a position and not try and do both?
Well, absolutely, because you can get receivers. They're everywhere. But you can't get lockdown corners. And if indeed he is one, and we'll know better once he plays one position. And that was great for showmanship and playing for Dion. I wondered as a rookie, when he was healthy, what meetings did he go to? You know,
Right.
Position players are in meetings with their teammates, going over practice, going over game plans. Did he spend an equal amount of time? Does that mean he was learning half as much? Was he freelancing on the field? I think it is very smart for Liam Cohen to move him to cornerback full time.
Yeah, I mean, can you think off the top of your head, is Dion the last great player to excel at, multiple sides of the ball?
He did, but he was still, he was a corner. He was a corner. He had great athleticism and speed and a monster ego. And when he wanted to try offense, they let him do it. The most impressive thing about Dion is he's playing a football game, and as soon as it's over, he takes a helicopter to go play a baseball game for the Braves. That was the most impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy what he did in that documentary about doing all that and how some of the teammates were like, hey, you should commit to this and commit to that. I just think, John, if you've got an extraordinary talent like a Dion or Travis Hunter, use them, right? I mean, just put him out there. You're trying to win games, and he's a great player. Why not put him out there and do that? Look, you can't worry, John. You've covered this a long time about guys getting injured. If they get injured, they get injured. But for Travis Hunter, I mean, we haven't seen something like this, John, in a long time at that level of talent. So I'd use him both ways if I could.
Well, I think he hadn't done it in the NFL. He did it in college. He came up. He wasn't spectacular at either one of them. And I'm sure now they think if they move into corner, which is a lot tougher to play than wide receiver, then you're going to see him be the kind of player he was when he won the Heisman Trophy. And the injury factor to me, it was the taxing it was putting on him mentally, trying to keep up with both in the NFL, and of course what it was doing to him physically, just the fact that he had to do so much in practice and the NFL, and eventually, if he hadn't been hurt, he'd been hit a lot by some guys bigger, stronger, and faster than he played against at Colorado.
He is John McClain from Houston. John, appreciate it as always. We will talk to you next week as we finally reach draft week in the NFL.
Can't wait, guys. Thank you very much as always.
Absolutely. John McClain joins us every Monday at 2 o'clock here on the Chase and Big Joe show, and it'll be nice to actually get into, all right, we're here. Yeah, what's going to happen now? And he's obviously got some good draft stories from over the years as well that we can get him to tell. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We're live at Tennessee Brew Works today, which is our off-season sponsor, and appreciate them for being on board. We'll come back with more here on the Chase and Big Joe show, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Little Alan Jackson on this Monday, live at Tennessee Brew Works. Always a good one. One text from earlier about when we were talking about UC Saros, and I thought this was interesting. 9648 says Saros has more goalie wins stolen this season than every goalie except for Sorokin. The Preds would not be in the playoff race currently without Saros' performance this season. Onanen has earned this run/trust through his play, but it should not be seen as an indictment of Saros. I could not agree with that statement more.
Is that a stat somewhere that I didn't see?
It's the hockey's all about these underlying stats and analytics and stuff that you hate, and I know you do, but they're important.
Explain goalie stolen. What does that mean?
Basically, based on what has transpired in the game, like the amount of quality shots that the opposing team has gotten, they should have won the game. But Saros made saves to steal goals away from them and therefore stole the game.
So that's a stat.
Yes, it's one of those underlying stats. It's not like when I say underlying, I mean like not your just okay, he scored this many goals or made this many saves.
Well, who determines whether or not that's you have to be within 10 feet of the goal? I don't know.
I don't know. You just ask. Like Willie and Adam are very into these things a lot more than I am. They're nerd stats, but that's okay.
All right.
Yeah, they're okay. Dr. Crane sent this to us earlier. This is how the Preds can clinch a playoff spot. They went out, so they beat San Jose and Anaheim.
Okay.
And then they also need one of these two things to happen. LA finishes with no more than 3 points in their remaining 3 games.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But they're on the road.
Yep. Or Anaheim loses in regulation to Minnesota, and the Preds beat Anaheim on Thursday. Because Anaheim has been doing a nosedive the last few games.
But Anaheim, are they in a wild card position?
No, but
did they play the Kings?
But that would move. I think it would move the Kings into their spot, into the top 3, and the top 3 make it, and that would knock Anaheim out altogether. And Nashville would get it.
This is so just win tonight
because just win, baby. So, like from a point standpoint, as I pull up the standings, the Ducks have 90 points. The Predators have 86. So yeah, hypothetically, that would have and they have 2 more games too.
Do the Preds have the tiebreaker over Anaheim?
I guess. All right, so let me do the math here.
Here we go.
So if you win the max the Preds can get are 90 points.
Correct.
Yeah. So what they're saying is because Anaheim has 2 games left. So if Anaheim loses in regulation, doesn't get a point, and then the Predators beat them head-to-head, yes, they'd win the tiebreaker. If both teams have 90 points, the Preds would win.
And so if the Kings get 91, they still wouldn't get it because Utah's got the other spot.
Correct, but the Kings would take the Ducks spot in the top 3 in the Pacific.
All right. I like this.
That's what
I
it
did
is.
not know this. Okay, good.
I did not know that.
All right.
Yeah. That's what they're saying.
All right. But you got to win tonight. No matter what else, Preds got to win tonight. That arena needs to be loud. I know it's a Monday night. Still, be loud tonight.
Yeah. So, and that place was loud Saturday. It was packed too. It was cool to see. It was Kids Day. It was Nash's birthday. T-Rack was there sporting the new Titans jersey.
What's T-Rack doing there? Get out of here.
Because he was there. So was Tempo and Booster.
Because for now, all right. So Nash had a party.
Yeah, it was his party.
All right.
So it was so funny watching like all the other mascots were kind of out with Nash. T-Rack was having trouble walking on the ice, so he was just kind of chilling.
Oh my gosh. Tempo. Speaking of Tempo, Dr. Crane, when's the CONCACAF final versus Mexico?
CONCACAF Champions Cup, that would be taking place this week. They take on Club America. That is April 14th, so tomorrow night. That game is kicking off at 10:30 p.m. Central Time.
What?
Yeah.
What time would it be there?
Believe they're 2 hours behind us. And
Okay.
that would be 8:30. So
Wow. Is that weird? I mean, is that well, I
it'll
guess
play
you
a little bit of a factor. I think elevation's more of the bigger conversation than anything because of where they're playing.
Where in Mexico is this?
I believe it is the old Estadio Azteca in Mexico City.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, are you going to stay up and watch?
I'll attempt to. Yeah, if I end up falling asleep at halftime, I'll wake up for the post-game press conference.
What if Chase could arrange Tempo to come over and watch the game with you?
I'll feed him spaghetti and call it a day.
But will you watch the whole game?
Can I just tell you how much it would warm my heart to just see a picture of Dr. Crane and Tempo, like on their hands, like with their elbows on the carpet, like laying in front of the TV, watching the game.
We're going to try to arrange that, Dr. Crane. Are you cool with that?
Crisscross applesauce. We can do it.
What is Tempo? Wolf? What is that thing?
Yeah, coyote.
Coyote.
So, Nashville SC is called the Yotes.
I think I know the answer to this. Were you like me as a kid where you would probably like lay in the floor at Nani's watching the TV while she's sitting on the couch, just, admiring how cute you were? That's what my grandmother would do.
Well, they had
I'd be in the
TV trays, so I was not allowed to eat food on the floor.
I'm not saying food. I'm just saying you're watching TV. So you're just hanging out, like sitting there. And because I would sit in front of my grandmother's TV in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, they had dedicated bean bags. There was a black bean
There
bag
you
and a
go.
blue one. And
Nice.
the blue one was mine, and the black one was my brother's.
There you go. Nice. Okay.
It was a fun little
memories
living
there.
room. They had two lazy boys. They had a couch. Just got to chill out.
Yeah.
Were you your grandpa's remote control?
So this is funny you bring this up, Joe. My
All right.
grandparents back in the day, it was regular antenna, television until cable came in the equation.
All right.
And I had to get like Scotch tape along with like Gorilla tape, so it would basically black out the buttons they don't need to use. So it was channel up, channel down, volume up, volume down, power button, and input and mute. That was the only buttons they needed to know.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you were the remote control.
And now, because of all the new gen technology with the remotes, you can just press the speak function. So that's all my grandmother does now. It's just watch channel 2, watch channel 5, and then it pops
Good
up.
for her. To get up and figure out. I mean, that's a problem with society. We have too many remote controls.
Oh, 100%.
You go somewhere like
We have too many, a lot of things.
you go to like a B&B and there's like 7 remotes. You're like, all right, what starts here? Next thing you know, you've blown up your neighbor's house. I mean, it's just we got to stop doing this. And you've ever tried to program a universal remote? Forget it.
Oh, yeah.
Good Lord. I think it started
grandparents
my
would have me
car.
do that.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I know we got celebrity birthdays coming a little bit. Did you boys see the story about the Waymo car that stopped traffic the other day?
I did not.
Please enlighten
Did it go
us,
down
Joe.
a one-way street?
It was stopped down on, I think it was the Mumbrian. It stopped. It just stopped. It didn't go through any red lights. It just stopped. And people couldn't get around it. And they had like call customer service. It took forever. Fox 17 had a story on it. It created this huge traffic jam because it cycled through like 18 red lights, something crazy. It wouldn't go anywhere. And Waymo just kind of stopped there on the road. We had that debate a few weeks ago, Dr. Crane. Chase was off that day about would you get in a Waymo? And people were like, I don't know. I'm like, no, I ain't getting it. And the story about the one that was at the Phoenix airport that kept going round and round like 9 times and wouldn't stop.
It's ridiculous.
Not doing it. Not doing it. Just call an Uber.
I'm with you. All right, real quick. Preds fans, you got to worry. The Preds got to win tonight. That's really the big thing that matters. But I will tell you this,
all right,
that you can pay attention to. The Kings are on the road in Seattle. Go Kraken. Go Kraken.
Yeah.
After the Preds win, pull for the Kraken. The Jets are in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. Go Golden Knights. We need the Golden Knights to win. We don't need the Jets thinking they still have a chance. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, you're going to be big fans of the Minnesota Wild because if they beat the Ducks in regulation, Thursday night at Bridgestone Arena is a play-in game.
Oh, okay.
Potentially it's a play-in game.
Okay.
So, and then the Kings are in Vancouver tomorrow night, so we would cheer against them as well. But
there's a lot at stake here.
There's a lot going on. It's going to be a wild week for sure. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe on a Monday, 102.5 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Monday. We've had a great time today here at Tennessee Brew Works, hanging out. Always enjoy our time here. Where are we going to be tomorrow, JoJo?
Tomorrow will be at La Madeleine. It's a new restaurant out of Mount Juliet. World famous, too. And then this is the first location in Tennessee. So we'll be out there tomorrow at Mount Juliet, noon to 3. It's their grand opening. People love this restaurant. It's very popular down in Nolens. And then so we'll be out to tomorrow. You, me, and Dr. Crane. So we'll have a lot of fun. Noon to 3, La Madeleine out of Mount Juliet.
Nice. We're looking forward to that. But first, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right. First on the list, we have Thomas Jefferson Day today. So shout out to Thomas Jefferson. International FND Awareness Day. That stands for Functional Neurological Disorder Awareness Day.
Thanks.
National Make Lunch Count Day. Make your lunch count, Joe.
We do every day.
Lunch
Yep, don't
is.
worry.
National Peach Cobbler Day. There you go. You can pair that with your lunch there. And then Scrabble Day. If you played Scrabble, enjoy it because today's your day.
Oh, okay. Quantum is always a good Scrabble word that gets you a bunch of points.
I like QI. QI.
That's right. That is
I have
one.
no idea what that word means, but it works.
Got you 10 points.
Yeah,
It is.
exactly.
Get you a lot of points if you get it on that triple, whatever it is. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Get these within 2. Chase McCabe on Friday set the all-time record with 15.
I did.
Before that, it was a tie between him and Willie at 13. So now Chase has the honor at 15. So in honor of that, Chase, you get to go first. First up, how old is famous chess player Gary Kasparov?
73.
72.
63.
Is that considered a tough sport, Joe?
Chess?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sit on your butt forever. Yeah, it's
You got to think, though.
you gotta think.
We're not good at that.
Yeah, I sense a little
Condescending?
Yeah, I was gonna say condensation, but that's rain. I sense a little forget it. All right, good God, Dr. Crane, how old is golfer Davis Love?
Davis Love is 72.
64.
62. Chase on the board, 1-0. Chase, how old is former Reds pitcher Jose Rio?
61.
58.
62. It's up 2-0. Dr. Crane, how old is former NFL player Ted Washington, the big nose guard?
55.
59.
57. That's a push with you two guys. Chaser, how old is former NBA player Bo Outlaw?
63.
60.
55. Dr. Crane, Dan Campbell, head coach of the Lions.
He's got to be in his 40s. I'm going to go 48.
53.
He is 50. Dr. Crane's on the board. It's 2-1. Chaser, how old is former NBA player Baron Davis?
56.
52.
47. Dr. Crane, former NFL running back Melvin Gordon.
I think he's now an ambassador for the NFL. I'm going to go 35.
38.
33. We're tied at 2. Chaser, from your favorite movie, Beauty and the Beast, how old is Ron Perlman? He played the Beast, not the Beauty.
73.
70.
76. Dr. Crane, how old is one of the best voices of all time? Peebo Bryson. How old is Peebo Bryson?
78.
81.
75. Chaser, he's the drummer for Bruce Springsteen, the drummer for Conan O'Brien. Max Weinberg.
The Max Weinberg 7. 75.
73.
75, exactly. Chase up 4-2. Dr. Crane, how old is former Silver Spoon star Ricky Schroeder?
61.
68.
56. Speed round. Here we go. Chaser, how old is the composer of Rocky films, Bill Conti?
81.
80.
84. Dr. Crane, how old is musician Al Green?
67.
82.
80. Chases up 5-2.
Memphis, right? Isn't he from Memphis?
He might be, yeah. Chaser, how old is actor William Sadler? He was the bad guy in Die Hard 2. He's also in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, yeah. 76.
75.
76 exactly. It's 7-2. Dr. Crane, how old is former Saturday Night Live star Gary Kroger?
I'll go with 62.
64.
69. Chaser, how old is Sandra Santiago? She played Gina on Miami Vice. You better get this correct.
67.
68.
69, Dr. Crane. It's
Nice.
now 7-3. Dr. Crane, how old is actress, comedian Caroline Ray? She was on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I'm going to go 41.
63.
62. Chase is now up 8-3. Here we go again. Chaser, how old is singer Aaron Lewis of Stained? Now he lives here. He's in country music.
I'm going to say Aaron Lewis is 52.
50.
54. Chase is up now 9-3. Here we go. Dr. Crane, how old is your favorite singer, Lou Bega? How old's Lou Bega?
Who was the
Mambo number 5, man.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'll be darned. I thought somebody else sang that. All right. Let's go 84.
Didn't come out in the 40s.
54.
Oh, he's 51. All right, two more real quick. Chaser, how old is Nellie McKay? Singer Nellie McKay.
52.
50.
44. Dr. Crane, the last one. Rapper Ty Dolla $ign. How old is rapper Ty Dolla $ign?
37.
41.
44. Chase wins 9-3. You missed 3 by 1 year, man.
I know. That could have been interesting.
Right?
That is going to do it for us here from Tennessee Brew Works.
Hey, we leave every show every day talking to the guys out there. You're doing a great job, man. We love you guys. I understand some days they got the dark clouds. You understand what's happening around you. But listen, I know you're doing fantastic. Find the gratitude. Find the love. Know how important you are, how wonderful you are. God's already given you the blueprint of success. It's called you. You're doing a great job. Please reach out if you need to talk. Know how much we love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in the world, please know how much God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next, and Predators pregame at 6 here on 102.5 The Game.